Mark Dodson, how are you today, sir?
I'm good. I'm great. I'm at a convention, so I'm great. Yeah.
Excellent. I have to ask you first, Salacious Crumb. That was pretty much one of your first gigs. Is that correct?
That was my first gig. Yeah, that was the first thing I ever did.
How did you fall into that?
I fell into that because I was working for Lucasfilm. I had gotten a job working out at Skywalker Ranch. Well, the first I was going to work down in L.A., and then they were moving everybody up to Marin County. And I said, I'll do anything. And they were looking for laborers and carpenters. And I said, well, I'll do that. And then if something opens up in production, you bring me over. Okay. So I was doing that. It was kind of known that I played around doing voices, but I really wanted to be a production guy, eventually be a director, producer, work, okay. But I played around doing voices, so when Ben Burt was looking for voices for Jedi, I asked if I could have a chance, and I went in, and the reason I say I really fell into it because he gave me a little bit of a part where Admiral Akbar is describing for an audition for Admiral Akbar, where he's describing when the hologram of the Death Star comes up. Okay, well, I was so nervous, I started shaking so bad that I literally, and there was no stand, it was in Ben Burt's studio, and I was like, oh my God, and Ben's like, what? And I said, I'm shaking so bad I can't read this. I was like, I can't read it. It's like, oh, just relax, take your time, no big deal. Well, to me it was a big deal, so I said, well, let me shake these nerves off. It's like, okay. And he kind of looked away, and I walked away from the mic, and I walked around, I started going, and then I came back. I said, and I had stopped shaking, and I was like, okay, I'm ready. And he walks out from behind his podium, he comes up, he goes, give me that script. And I handed him the script, and I thought, oh my God, I've just like really upset Ben Burt, who's a great sound man, one of the greatest in history. And I thought, wow, I've offended him. It's over. That was my shot, and I blew it. And he got back around. He turned around behind his podium. He goes, you know what you just did over there? I'm like, yeah. He said, I've got a creature that's going to be perfect for. Forget Admiral Akbar. Let's just do a bunch of that today. I said, okay. And next thing I knew, I was just doing a bunch of cackling and gibberish, like cursing at people and gibberish, you know, and it ended up being Salacious Crumb, and that's how it happened. And so, pretty weird, really. It worked out that way.
That's pretty incredible. Now, Salacious Crumb is essentially a court jester. He's not really a bad guy.
Look at him. Can you see this? Because I mean, for real. Now look. You know how a court jester has okay, can you see the clown kind of thing? And how they have the tassels hanging off the right and the ears have he is a court jester.
Now that said. That
was his job.
Yeah, right.
But that was his job. If he had to make Jabba laugh once a day, and if he did, he was taken care of and got fed. And if he didn't make Jabba laugh in a day, Jabba would eat him. Right. That was their deal.
But he dies pretty horrifically. He dies in an explosion of the barge. I kind of feel as if he was kind of shortchanged.
That was sad.
Yeah.
That was a sad moment in film history. Sad moment in mine, anyway.
Right. Well, that's it.
Yeah,
you could have continued.
No chance of him coming back.
But you've stayed with Lucasfilms a little bit. Most recently.
Right. They called me back to work on Force Awakens. That was a shock. So I went back out to what was being done. The sound was being done in L.A. Went out there, and the deal, what I didn't know, but when I first got there, Matt Wood was directing, and he came up and we talked, and he said, there's a character, there was going to be a lot of background things to do. Walla type stuff is what we call it, where you just do background sound. And he said, but there's one creature in particular that I'm going to want you to do. And he's like, you'll see when we get there. Well, as we were going along, and then we got to Maz Kanata's, because we're doing it to picture. We get to the Maz's castle, and when it opens, there's the two brothers, is what they are. They're playing a board game, and the one wins, and of course, there's no sound to it as we're watching it, and I see the one win and goes, "Ah." And I kind of was like, okay, that guy needs a laugh. And then right when we got done, because there were several actors, several of us voice guys there, and Matt looks over and says, "Salacious, I need your laugh right here." And I was like, wow, that really felt good, you know? It really did. So that was kind of a audio Easter egg, you know, to bring that laugh back. Not quite as high a pitch because he's a bigger creature, but it's still that type of a cackle, you know? So yeah, that felt really good after all those years to have them. It felt really, really good.
Oh, I'm sure. Any word?
Overwhelming, actually.
Have they talked about you bringing back?
I'm not allowed to talk about it.
I can't imagine you are.
But I mean, you know, there is going to be an episode 8, and probably you would think if they had me back for that, they'll probably. I'm hoping.
Well, thank you very much. Where can we find you? Where can we find you online?
Well, you can find me. I have a Facebook page, Mark Dodson, and you'll be able to tell it's me. And then also markdodson.com is my website, my voiceover website. So.
Well, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. That was fun.
It's a good pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thanks.